Okay, so now because of all this distance learning mode, it has affected the way we conduct our examinations. But I'm happy to tell you that Mr. Marlon and the teachers have come up with some very innovative way in which we can test our students and keep the integrity of the examination process too. And he will let you know about the procedures, the protocols that students and parents, for a start, you can help your son or daughter to undergo this kind of test procedures. Okay, but not to worry, even at the end of everything, we will be having a kind of a practice session or a dry run on classroom work, so that our students will get used to and familiar with the test procedures. I think now I will ask Mr. Marlon to give his the briefing on how the examinations ought to be done. Marlon?
Sure, Mr. Colin.
I will stop presenting first, and then Mr. Marlon can take over.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. As Mr. Colin was saying, I will be doing a briefing about the examination protocol. In use in school for 2 years now, and most of you, year 4 and year 5, have already experienced this. We are going to include year 3 in this protocol. Hold on. You're supposed to be seeing a diagram at the moment. Hold on. All right. Can you see my screen? Supposed to be something with the grade and examination protocol.
That's right. We can see it quick.
All right. This is just like what I was saying. This is not something new to everyone, except for those who just came to the school. We have been doing this for 2 years. And firstly, everyone should know that setup. I will be discussing about this one later. What are the equipment that you will be using and preparing from your ends? And also some ideas what is going to happen when you are in the Google Meet together with the invigilators or proctors. All right, now after this, I will be covering some part of the procedure as well, which is linked to the so-called exam time. This exam time is basically what you receive from your mentors, the ones like this one, stating which day and what time you are going to take the papers for the individual subjects. Okay, so all right, let's go back to this one. Basically, this is exam time, so we are calling this pre-exam time, and this one is the time after the scheduled exam time. All right, we call this post-exam time. All right, now the ones that you are going to prepare from your ends at home are basically this one. It's going to be 2 devices. It could be a laptop and another laptop, or a laptop and a tablet, or a laptop and a phone. All right, or a desktop also. Instead of laptop, you can use desktop. The thing is, you are going to use the laptop or desktop for the examination itself, and the second device is going to be used to capture more of your working area. All right. And another thing is also we need the internet, stable internet for this one. Another thing that is going to be very important is that your SPA account should be connected to the 2 devices. And let me note that it has to be only to those devices. There will be a time during the pre-exam time that the invigilator will be asking you to remove some of the other devices connected to your accounts. All right, it's something similar to this one. As you can see here, you will be doing this thing with the help of the invigilator. Don't worry, if you haven't done this before, As you can see on my screen right now, these are the devices that are connected to my SPA account. So what will happen during the pre-exam time is that the invigilator will help you to remove the other device that are not going to be used in the examination protocol. For example, you will be using this laptop and your phone. Then these other two devices will be removed, all right, by you with the help of the invigilator. Okay, let us go back here. All right. So apart from these equipment or materials, there are also subject-specific materials that you're going to prepare. Like for example, in the sciences, we are allowing our students to use calculators, and maybe in some other subjects they need line paper, pencil, and some other stuff that has to be on your table before the start of the examination. Okay, so this one is to be prepared at home. And of course, this one from your ends also, the internet, it has to be stable. Of course, this one is also from your ends, but it will be set up based on the one that I will be discussing later and to be checked by the invigilators. Okay? One important thing about this briefing is that I want you guys to know how to set up properly. Because as you can see, when you join the Google Meet in the examination, you are supposed to be set up already. All right, and then your invigilators will be just checking whether you're following the setup that the school is going to prescribe. If there's something wrong, then the invigilators will be helping you to fix it. Okay, now let's go to the setup. Your setup should look like this one. There should be a table where you're going to place your laptop or the desktop and your other materials around here. Maybe we can label it. This one is your laptop, all right? And this one, it could be a laptop, it could be a tablet, phone, all right? This is the second device that you need. Basically, it has to be positioned so that this area where you are working on, taking the test, is going to be captured through here, this camera here, all right? And these ones here, the additional materials, okay? Now, let's see. Maybe I can give you more details. As you can see here, as I was saying, this is your table, this is your laptop, additional devices. This is your chair. And somewhere here at the left, there has to be something where you can put your second device on, such that it can capture this part of the working area. You can also move this one. If you don't want to put your second device here at this side, you can do it at the other side. Okay, let me give you more ideas on this. All right, so this is how it looks. So this is your laptop, and one particular request from the school is that so that we won't be spending a lot of time is that this second device has to be a little bit elevated. This second device, as you can see, I have here a phone. All right, so here, let's take a look at it. It has to be capturing this way. It has to be capturing the work area like this. The second device should be showing you here and your laptop in your work area and a little space at the back of your laptop. That is supposed to be the one that can be seen from the second camera. All right. In some instances, there is a delay because some students will be putting it. The camera is like in here. All right. So we cannot see clearly what's on the table. Sometimes the laptop is even a little thick, so we don't know whether there's something at this side of the laptop that you are using for the examination. So basically, that's the idea. This is the setup. All right, two devices, both connected to your account, and both devices are supposed to be connected to the same Google Meet. And this one, very important, it has to be a little elevated so that it could capture you, the table, and some space at the back of your first device or the laptop or the desktop. All right. Let me move now to the next part here. Okay, I just drew a line here. Imagine that this line is the schedule given to you by the school. This is schedule that I showed you a while ago. For example, this one. Where was the schedule? Okay, you're supposed to be seeing the schedule, yes? This is the one that your parents receive. And there's a table in here that says about the days of the examination and the duration. Like, for example, this one, English language, is from 8 o'clock to 9:15. The others, it's almost the same thing. 1 hour here, and here 1.5 hours, and so on. So basically, what I want you to imagine is that this is the line that I just drew in my presentation slide. All right, this is the scheduled time as per the letter that was given or forwarded to your parents. And here we have some points that need to be made clear today. This one is the pre-exam time, as I was saying in my first slide a while ago. And this is going to be 15 minutes. All right, now the other part here is 10 minutes. We call this post-exam time. So basically, if your exam starts at 8, based on the one that you are seeing in the timetable, the one that I showed you a while ago, if it starts at 8 there, you have to be in Google Meet 15 minutes before that. So you must be there by 7:45. And the invigilator will be there doing things in preparation for the exam. You should join the Google Meet, and then the invigilator will be there. The invigilator will meet you, so he can check your setup. All right. While checking the setup, it has to be similar to the one that I showed you a while ago, the 3D thingy. And apart from those, there are other 3 things that the invigilator is getting you prepared for. All right. The first one here is the camera and the microphone. Your invigilators will be making it sure that those are on. I mean, the 2 cameras must be on, and one of your devices microphone. One device has to be muted, and the other one is turned on. But for the 2 devices, all the cameras must be on. When you are already in the Google Meet during pre-exam time, you will be reminded of this by the invigilators. All right? If you haven't turned on your camera, they will be asking you to do it. And the same thing with the one microphone that must be on the entire duration of the exam time. All right? Apart from this, you will be sharing your screen as well. All right? Now, another thing is the removal of the other devices. Just like what I told you a while ago, your device will be removed with the help of the invigilators. Okay, they will be giving you a link that you will be following, this one. This will be given to you, and then you're going to post this in a tab like this, and then when you press enter, this one will appear. All right, and the devices that will appear here.
Marlon, your screen is all blank.
Is it?
Okay. Yeah, just now. There was no image on it. That might carry on, please.
All right, okay. Where was I? I was telling you about the removal of the devices, isn't it? Are you seeing the page where there are some devices listed? Like there are 4 of it. One laptop.
Yes,
one
it's
phone,
okay now. It's all right.
So you see, after doing these things that given by the invigilator, you will be seeing those devices that are connected to your SPA account. And then your invigilator will be assisting you to remove the other devices connected to your SPA account using this page. Okay? Hold on. For example, this one. You will see it's a sign out, find the tablet, and then don't recognize this device. You are going to be required by your invigilator to sign out that device. Meaning to say it's going to be disconnected to your SPA account. In the end, the only devices that are connected to your SPA account would be the 2 devices that are required in this examination protocol. All right, the one that I showed you a while ago, these ones, these devices are going to be the only ones connected to your account. All right. Now let's move. By the way, within the pre-exam time, the invigilators are going to start the recording. And then the recording will continue until the end of post-exam time. All right, pre-exam time, you have to be there 15 minutes before the scheduled time. And then these are the things that will happen. There will be a checking of the setup by the invigilators. The camera and the microphones will be turned on. 2 cameras, 1 microphone only. The other one is muted. Then you will be asked to share your entire screen. And then you will be asked also to remove other devices connected to your SPA account, except for those that you are going to use. Now, within this time also, the recording will be started, and the recording continues through this entire duration of the paper, plus 10 more minutes if there's a need for a post-exam time. In some other subjects, they don't use post-exam time. However, in subjects like sciences, mathematics, and the others, where you need to draw some diagrams on a piece of paper, or show your working on a piece of paper. In that case, you will be doing some photo uploads during the post-exam time. All right? Now, let me continue with this one. All right? Okay, so basically, there are also one point here in the duration of the exam where there might be some break. The reason why I'm mentioning this to you is because in cases that the examination time is very long, like 2 hours, most likely your teachers would decide to split their paper into 2 sections so that you can go to the toilet immediately after completing the first part. And then when you come back, you can start with the second part, things like that. If we are going to just have 1 paper or 1 form for your 2-hour examination, for example, there's no way we could allow you to go to the toilet for security and authenticity reasons. I'm telling you now, most of your teachers are breaking or splitting their exams into 2 sections or 2 parts, so that in the end of the first part, you can just submit that and go to the toilet, and then you open the second part where you can see the rest of the questions. So that's one thing. Another thing is that there will be a time check also here. Your invigilators will be giving you warning whether there's already 15 minutes time left. That's for the primary level. For the secondary level, the invigilator will be giving a 5-minute warning signal. All right? Now imagine that the exam time has ended. There is still 10 minutes time here for the so-called photo taking. You see, there are some cases that the questions require you to do some working or draw some diagram, draw some graphs. That you are going to take photos of it, all right? And then those photos will be uploaded in the Google Classroom. And these are going to be done within the 10 minutes post-exam time. So apart from this scheduled examination, sometimes 1 hour, sometimes 1 hour and 15, sometimes 1.5 hours, sometimes 2 hours. Apart from those, we also have 15 minutes before you have to be in the Google Meet, and then 10 minutes after post-exam time in subjects that requires photo upload. All right, some subjects don't need this, so immediately after you submitted your form, at the end of the exam, the invigilator will just be dismissing you. Most of the subjects are using code or PIN, all right, that you need to copy and paste from chat panel of the Google Meet. Let me give you an example. Maybe, hold on. This one is it still becoming dark, Mr. Colin?
Yes, we can't see anything but a black screen.
Oh, yeah. All right, hold on. How about I do it like this? How about that, Mr. Colin? Can you see something?
It's okay, but it's a small picture. Now okay. You're right. Good. Hey, it's gone off. Okay.
I'm assuming you're seeing it. It's
yes.
Like the Google form. The Google form where the questions are written by your teachers here. As I was saying, if you are going to the toilet, then you have to complete the first section first. In most of the subjects, they're doing this in consideration of these students. And the other one is this one. Hold on, yeah. Just to give you an example.
Marlon, your presentation screen is again. Now, all right.
All right. As I was saying, there is this code or a PIN. As you can see on my screen at the moment, there's an instruction here using the chat panel of the Google Meet. message your proctor or invigilator for the code. All right, the code will be given to you by the invigilator in the chat panel, and then you will be copying and pasting that here in this part of the Google form. And when I say copying and pasting, you are going to highlight that one and then copy, or Control C and then Control V here. I think Mr. Rado is teaching you on how to do that. If you don't know how to copy and paste, you can notify Mr. Rado to cover that one in his IT classes. So basically, there will be a code to be posted in the Google Meet chat. You are going to copy that and then paste it in the Google form. Do not copy it like manually, like looking at it and then typing it yourself. It's not going to be like that. It has to be highlighted and then copy and then paste it here. We are doing this to further enhance the authenticity and security of the examinations that we are having. We are using PIN as well, apart from the other things that I have already mentioned in my previous slide. All right. Okay, so
Yeah,
I think I have covered everything. Maybe we can do a question and answer portion if there's some things that they need some clarifications.
Parents, are there any questions that you'd like to ask?
Miss Rennie?
Miss Rennie, we
cannot hear you.
Sure. Good day, everyone. My name is Rennie. I'm Theo parents from year 9. Yeah, he just going inside the school. So now it will be excited for him to get a new system in here. My question is, was there any supervisor or teacher supervised during the exam? So just in case that like kids lost or something like that, like, you know, like kind of like wants to supervise like the kids, like, hey, you should just finish your exam now, like, yeah, so it kind of thing like that. Thank you.
Mr. Colin, can I answer that?
Yeah, please, Marlon.
Miss Rennie, the one that I was telling a while ago, from the very beginning, for example, the exam time start at 8. Satrio has to be in the Google Meet 10 minutes before that. Inside the Google Meet, you won't be alone there. There will be invigilators. And the invigilators will be giving him instructions, checking everything. And if he needs some assistance, the invigilators can help. And our practice here in the school, there are also some IT personnel on standby, just in case the invigilators cannot solve the issue by themselves. They will be calling Mr. Rado or me to join the Google Meet and do the assistance. Basically, the invigilators will be there. One is to one for every Google Meet is going to be your son only and the invigilator. So there are only 2 people there. If there's some issue, you can just ask that person, the invigilator. If it can be solved by that person, they will be helping Satrio. If the problem is something that requires assistance from the outside, the invigilator will be notifying me or Mr. Rado. Mr. Rado is our IT personnel.
Sorry, you're breaking up a bit, like on yeah. Just the last bit. Sorry, you'll be able to repeat it again. Sorry, you break up a bit.
The key idea, Miss, is that Satrio won't be alone in the Google Meet. There is always a personnel. There's always a personnel there that will be helping him in any problems that he will be having. Those are the invigilators. And also there are some standby personnel just in case that person, the invigilator, cannot solve the issue. Some IT personnel can join in the Google Meet and do what is necessary.
Excellent, thank you. That's good to know. It's a bit relief for me, but because still is like, yeah, it can be really overwhelmed for him now. Thank you very much. Good to know.
For our parents and students, maybe I'll prompt Marlon to give explanation of what would happen if there is an internet interference. All right. Sometimes, as the examination is being conducted, there's an internet failure, power failure, or what? So, Marlon, could you address this part of it for our parents?
It's the way we did it last time was to give some advice to the parents to have extra quota in their phones. Most of our students are using their broadband connections in the house. Sometimes there's some problem with that. It is suggested that at least we have some extra internet quota in the phones, at least during exams. Mr. Colin?
Thank you, Marlon. That would appease our parents because sometimes they get anxious on such a thing. Margaret, I can see you on the panel. Would you like to ask?
Yes, I'm here. I'm good, Mr. Colin. It's
Yeah, yeah. You're quite seasoned in this.
yes.
In this
My daughter's
mode
been
of.
through from year 3 last year. So.
All right. Did you have any difficulty when she was in year 3?
I think they can manage it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Parents, you must be wondering why we've got all these things set up, because part of the whole school system, once you choose the curriculum, you got to be dealing with the teaching, the learning, and the last and important thing is the testing, right? Testing is very important. If your test patterns, if your test system is not valid, there is no integrity in this in your whole setup. So that is why we have a second device, etc. Now another thing is that Marlon, if I remember, some homes may have siblings. So how are they going to manage this if they have only? Do they have to have many devices, Marlon?
I think, Mr. Colin, that that issue will only happen if the siblings are taking the examination at the same time. If they are not taking the examination at the same time, then they can just borrow the other device, maybe the cell phones,
Yes.
things like that. But in case they are doing it at the same time, as you can see in my screen, maybe they can position one device here. You see, this is the other device that they are sharing. One student can sit here, and then they can put another table here where the other student will be sitting. And then this device is going to be joined in the Google Meet of this person and the other person. So it's like being used one device as shared second device of the two siblings. If there are 3 of them, then it's going to be fine. You just add the table here. The only requirement is that we should be able to see the work area using the second device. So it is going to be like seen like this. And one person can be seen here and the other person can be seen here. Mr. Colin?
Thank you, Marlon. Parents or even students would like to ask something. Brianna, would you like to ask some questions? Are you? Kathleen?
No, Mr. Marlon explained it very clearly, so I understand.
All right, very good, very good. All right.
Mr. Colin?
Yeah.
Miss Margaret, raise your hand.
I have something to add. It's not about the briefing, but it's something that maybe other parents could agree. Maybe since we only have 1 week left of lesson time, maybe it's better if the exam pointers could be shared earlier. I think it's just a reminder, because sometimes the kids take time to arrange their study time. Thank you.
Okay, sure. This is a valid suggestion. Any other questions from our parents? If not, I think, Rado, you have also recorded this, right? Have you recorded this?
Yes, Mr. Colin. I think Miss Rennie is having wants to ask another question.
Rennie,
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry about breakness. Yeah, were you able to organize or probably organize some trial day or something like that, or maybe just like what you say before in IT subject session, there will be practice for this or trial for this test. Thank you.
Yes, I think Marlon did mention that in passing during his presentation. One is Rado. The second part of it, it will be, we have a dry run. A dry run meaning we'll practice it as though it was an examination, but it will be based on classwork. Okay, we will have 2 subjects, and the subject teacher will take them through the process of what to do, what to how to put the devices, etc., so that they will be familiar when it becomes to the real thing. So not only will Rado prepare them, but we will also have dry runs, practice sessions, and they'll be on 2 subjects. And then we will monitor it. If we find that we need more, we can still do it, because we got 5 days next week to complete the familiarization of this examination. Marlon, anything else to add?
Yeah, Mr. Colin. The dry run are more likely going to happen in year 3, year 4, and year 5. In the case of Miss Reni's son, the kid is in year 9, Mr. Colin. Try to do it myself because
sorry, I didn't realize.
Because
That's
Satrio
all right.
is in my physics class. I'll try to see whether I can have time to give him personal orientation on this. Maybe immediately after Monday class or Tuesday class.
I appreciate that. Yes, best. Thank you.
Because most likely dry run will just be happening in year 3, 4, and 5. Am I correct, Mr. Colin?
Yes, it would be that. It would
But
be
for
so.
the new students in other levels, maybe some other teachers can just do the orientation.
We'll speak to the mentors to do that, and then if not, even Marlon will be backing up to ensure that your son knows exactly what to do. But actually, there will be, for the upper level, is very easy for them to pick this up, because they are very IT savvy. It is the younger ones that we are a little bit more concerned. Okay, so don't worry. He will be prepared,
Excellent.
and just before the examination begins.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions that we? Okay. If there isn't, there is still time, whether it be on Monday or Tuesday. Please send me a short email or Marlon, and then of your worries, and we will clear it up for you. But I'm very confident. We've gone through this many times already. Last year, we had 4 tests, two assessments, and 2 examinations, and it went by like a breeze. So I'm quite sure that this time things will also be the same. So if there isn't anything, it leaves me to thank Mr. Marlon for his very crisp way in which he has presented this examination protocol and procedures. And I would like to thank all parents. By the way, Marlon, could you just hold on at the end? I would like to thank all parents and also teachers and also students to have joined us for this session and this briefing. So once again, thank you very much, and bye-bye.
Brianna, you have a question, Brianna?
Yes,
Brianna has a question. Go ahead.
I think
yes, and it's about for the exam. So like after I already did example one part of the exam, and there will be a second part. And then when I'm starting doing the second part, when I finish the last question, the internet suddenly stopped for some seconds. And then when I join back, there will be no more. I don't have my answers in the forms again. So, and there will be only a few minutes left. So how would I do all of the questions over again?
Can I answer that, Mr. Colin?
Yes, please.
All right, Brianna, I think is worried about what would she do. Will she be doing the examination again? And there's only little time left. If that is the case, Brianna, in the past, what the teachers were doing were basing their marking from the one we are recording. If you still remember, the Google Meet is being recorded, and while it is being recorded, you are sharing your screen. Everything that you are doing in your Google form or in your screen is being recorded there. And so in the past years, those things happened very rarely. However, we were able to grade the students based on what we saw in the video, the recording. Don't worry about that. The grade will be the same thing as if there was no internet disconnection. Brianna?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Marlon.
Okay, don't boys and girls, don't worry too much about these things. I know right now it causes anxiety, but whatever it is, we are in control of the examination. We are in control of the rules. And if we see that there has some abnormality, we will ensure that the students will not be penalized in any way negatively, right? We'll always try to find something so that the students do not lose their marks. As what in this case, it's already been explained by Marlon. If other unusual thing crops up, we will take a necessary action, and that action will ensure that you do not lose marks. Okay, Brianna? Any other questions? Any other questions? No, huh? So with that, once again, I would like to thank all parents for joining us, all students for joining us, all teachers for joining us. There'll be other instances where we will ensure that students are familiar with our test protocols. Thank you for joining us and have a nice day. Bye-bye. Marlon, stay on, please.
Thank you and goodbye, Mr. Colin.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, Mister.
Thank you, Mr.
Bye.
Kelly. Bye.
Bye,
Thank you,
Lisa.
Marlon.
Bye-bye.
Thank you and goodbye, Mr.
Goodbye.